Hi, I'm Judd Tully from Art and Auction magazine, and I'm standing at Christie's King Street headquarters previewing the upcoming post-war and contemporary evening sale that takes place on Thursday evening. Francis, hi. Tell me something about this painting you're standing in front of. Arguably the most important painting that's going to be offered this season.
Yeah, this is Francis Bacon's portrait of George Dyer talking from 1966, which is really, for my mind, probably the best single panel Bacon I've ever worked with. You have this portrait of George Dyer kind of moving in mid-conversation, pivoted on this bar stool, but clearly rotating, and the sense that the whole room is rotating is made even stronger by the carpet behind him, which is really giving this idea that there's some kind of centrifugal force in the whole painting. The first time it came to auction in 2000, it was estimated at $3.5 to $4.5 million, and it achieved the then world record price of $6.5 million. This time we've got an estimate on request, and we are quoting in the region of £28 million. But my feeling is that it can break the world record for a single panel by Bacon, which currently stands at around $52 million. So we have high expectations.
Francis, tell me about the Gerhard Richter painting, this grand abstraction. Can you talk about it in terms of Richter's abstract works and its relative importance?
Abstractus Bild from 1989 by Gerhard Richter is really a towering example of his abstract painting. He began making pure abstract paintings in the late 60s, and he was testing out lots of different styles into one painting, and gradually he purified it until in the late 80s he hit this real stride. So here, if you look at this painting, you see a whole cacophony of colours and layers. It's like looking at a fossil. So it's got everything you want from Richter: texture, proportion, colour, and movement and energy, which I think make it a very special work.
What are the expectations for this painting?
Currently we are quoting around £15 million as the expectation, but I think this will go for much more than that.
And that would be a record?
I think it could get to a record for Richter, yes, it definitely. I think it's a good chance.
Tell me about this grandly scaled painting by Jenny Saville that you're standing in front of.
Yeah, Jenny Saville's plan from 1993 is kind of one of her key early works. She came fresh out of art school when Charles Saatchi discovered her, and I think was one of the only artists of that group that he actually funded for a couple of years, and bought most of the material that she made in those two or 3 years. And this was probably the most celebrated work in that group. She's really pushing figurative painting at the end of the century to new proportions and new heights. And obviously the fact that she's a female painter and she's painting herself in such open detail is really what marks out her work from this period.
And in terms again of the market, where is this painting estimated at?
The estimate on the work is £800,000 to £1.2 million. I think that Jenny Saville's record is around £1.4 million for a work that we sold at Christie's about 2-3 years ago called Branded. I think it has a strong chance of getting towards that figure. It's certainly a much larger scale painting and a very celebrated image, so I have high hopes.